Hello everyone, I'm Anthony, the Eclectic Chef. Welcome back to the office adjacent to my English kitchen. Today we're going to talk about pork tenderloin au poivre. Au poivre sauce is actually quite simple to make and it adapts to a lot of dishes. I have a lot of pork tenderloins here because they sell them at Costco here in the UK and they're very reasonably priced. By the way, for those in the US who don't want to run to a pork tenderloin, you could actually use pork loin and cut it into strips or even chops. Might be a good way too. And use essentially the recipe we're going to talk about today. I decided to use Calvados rather than brandy. Although Calvados is a brandy, it just is made from apples or occasionally pears and not grapes because it has an apple flavour and it really complements the pork well. For this dish, I actually served some apple slices sautéed in butter on the top of the pieces of pork. The sauce itself is a fairly simple Calvados and cream sauce, which you may partially recognise from my monkfish recipe. We had to use just very coarsely ground black pepper for this recipe, and a lot of it, because I was completely unable to locate any fresh green peppercorns in brine to add to the sauce. Sorry for that, but there it is. Have plenty back in my American kitchen. Served this to the sous chef and another dinner guest who happens to be her sister. Everybody really liked this dish. Cleaned plates, they didn't quite lick them, but they might as well have done. This is very tasty, very affordable, and the actual meat part of this dish is pretty fast and simple, frankly. I will say we've injected quite a bit about Lyonnaise potatoes into this video. Lyonnaise are my standard potato for meats au poivre, and they happen to be one of my favourite potato dishes. They're just a little bit of work. In closing, because I was pressed and our kitchen here is really made for cooking small numbers, not larger, I've injected a piece filmed separately on preparing the pork tenderloin au poivre. So if it looks a little out of order to you, that's why. But everything's good, tastes good. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Give it a try, and let's all have a great day in our kitchens. So here are our pork tenderloins. Actually two, cut in half. I've pulled all the silver skin off, and we've grated pepper, black pepper, all over them. Coarser grind as I could get my pepper grinder to spit out. Hopefully get a nice peppery taste here. We're just going to leave them to stand at room temperature for an hour or so. Hopefully get the flavour into the meat. I was completely unable to find some green peppercorns in brine, so this is going to be it. Mind you, same problem in America. I had to get them from Amazon. Wouldn't have time here though, so we'll make do with what we have in a beautiful Calvados and cream sauce with a little sautéed apple to add a kicker. Here are our garnish of apple slices, sautéing in a generous amount of butter, which by now is clarified pretty well. I'm not sure if I'm going to serve the tenderloins as mosettes or medallions, in which case I'll put the slice of apple between each medallion and pour the sauce over. Maybe a nice presentation. Let me know what you think about that. Well folks, today we're going to serve our pork tenderloin au poivre with some of my favourite potatoes. Pomme lyonnaise. Sautéed potatoes with sautéed onions. What I've done with these, they're Marish Pipers. I've left the skin on, looking for a rustic look. Also didn't feel like peeling them. These we'll put whole in the Instant Pot on high pressure to steam for 15 minutes. Sliced them up about 1/4 inch, centimetre thick. It's going to take me a while in this small pan, but I've done the dirtiest second one. Cook 3 batches of this and we'll be good to go. Keep them warm in the air fryer and serve them with our delicious pork tenderloin au poivre. So here are our lyonnaise. Not quite yet. It took me 3 batches to saute these potatoes, and I'd be lying if I hadn't had a couple, and they are spot on. Soft in the middle, crispy, not super crispy but just there, pretty chewy with the skins. I'm going to gently blend, they're not that fragile, I only had 1 piece break. Gently blend the fried onions in, and we'll put them in a parchment paper liner in the air fryer, which is the best way to reheat these or keep them warm without them going soft and soggy. As I said, this is really my favourite potato. And here are the lyonnaise, gently mixed together. We don't overload these with onion, by the way, it's just enough to give a flavour. A lot relies on the quality and the preparation of the potatoes. I'd strongly recommend you give these a try. I'll put some more detailed notes in the description about how to do these. And they really do complement an au poivre preparation, which is what we're doing tonight, and we'll show you the rest of that in a minute. Hello everyone, another day, another tenderloin. I'm splicing this section in with a single tenderloin that we had left over from last night, basically to quickly run you through the cooking of these pork tenderloin au poivre with Calvados and cream sauce. Because that pan was a bit crowded and it wasn't a good chance to video last night, so we want to see a good way to help get this is to just push down with our spatula. Will help us get a good sear on either side of the tenderloin. We'll flip this and form the same on here. So here we have a nice little sear on the tenderloin. Glad to see the pepper pieces have stayed on. We're going to go ahead and do the sauce now. First, add our Calvados. Let it cook down a little bit. The alcohol will boil off fairly quickly. Just reduce this down. It'll reduce down fairly quickly, by the way. Next, the cream. We'll cook the cream down a little. You'll see I've added a knob of butter to help the sauce a bit. Let this sauce reduce. Just pour it over the pork tenderloin. Give this a little stir. This sauce is almost at the right consistency. See the pan there? We're nearly there, folks, nearly there. Delicious sauce. Spooned over the tenderloin, everyone. This is looking pretty good. I'm going to plate this. We'll come back and talk to you in the afterward. Well, here we go, folks. Pork tenderloin au poivre with apples, Calvados and cream, lyonnaise potatoes and broccolini. I've tasted some of the taters. I know they're good. The broccolini, well, it is what it is. And I know this pork's going to shine, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll come back and have a chat with you in the afternoon.